Are you struggling with the Epic Games Launcher not opening or constantly crashing on your PC? You aren't alone. Whether you're facing a black screen, getting stuck on the loading screen, or the Epic Games Launcher won't launch at all, these technical glitches are a total nightmare for any gamer. In this comprehensive troubleshooting guide, I've compiled my top 4 proven methods to fix the Epic Games Launcher and get you back into your favorite games like Fortnite, Rocket League, and Fall Guys without the headache. We're going to walk through step-by-step solutions for the most common PC gaming errors, including how to clear your webcache, adjust high DPI settings, and fix compatibility issues that cause the launcher to crash. I've organized these Epic Games fixes from the most critical startup errors to those annoying UI bugs, ensuring your gaming library stays accessible and your software runs smoothly. Stop wasting time with Epic Games Launcher not working errors, and follow along as we go through the ultimate repair guide. Make sure to watch the entire video so you don't miss the specific fix for your system. Let's get your Epic Games Launcher working again right now. If you are stuck staring at your wallpaper instead of jumping into a match, we need to get under the hood and figure out why the software is hanging in limbo. The first thing you should do is check if the launcher is actually stuck in a zombie state. Sometimes it tries to start, but gets caught in a background loop where you can't see it, but your computer thinks it is already running. Press Ctrl, Alt, and Delete at the same time, and pull up your Task Manager. Or right-click on the taskbar with your mouse, and then select the Task Manager. You want to scan that list for anything named Epic Games Launcher, or even the anti-cheat services. If you see them, they are likely blocking a fresh start. Right-click on every single one of those processes and hit End Task to clear the deck. Once the background is clear, it is time to look at your permissions. Search for the Epic Games Launcher in your Start menu, or find the launcher shortcut on your desktop and right-click it, and go into the Properties. Head over to the Security tab, and make sure your specific user account has Full Control checked off. While you are in those property settings, hop over to the Compatibility tab. You should check the boxes to disable full-screen optimizations and, most importantly, run the program as an administrator. This tells Windows to give the launcher the green light it needs to bypass any weird system restrictions. If that still doesn't do the trick, the problem might be some corrupted temporary files hidden in your system. Hold down the Windows key and R to open the Run box. Then type in %local app data % and hit Enter. Find the folder named Epic Games Launcher. Click into Saved and look for a folder called webcache. Delete that folder entirely. This acts like a browser refresh for the launcher, clearing out old data that might be causing it to crash before it even opens. Why does this even happen in the first place? Often, it comes down to a simple handshake failure between the software and your operating system. Maybe a background update got interrupted, or a file in the cache became unreadable, leaving the launcher confused about how to display its own interface. By clearing the tasks and the cache, you are essentially forcing the app to look at its own files with a fresh set of eyes. If you've tried all of that and the launcher is still being stubborn, a clean slate is your best bet. Go to your settings, find Add or Remove Programs, and uninstall the Epic Games Launcher completely. Don't worry, your games stay safe. Head back to the official website, grab a fresh installer, and set it up again. This usually irons out any deep-seated issues that a simple restart can't fix. You can get this sorted out right now by following a few specific paths that clear out the digital cobwebs holding the launcher back. The first thing to do is make sure the launcher isn't already trying to run a ghost version of itself in the background. Go down to the bottom right of your taskbar and click that little arrow to show your hidden icons. If you see the Epic Games logo there, right-click it and hit Exit. While you are at it, close out any other random apps you don't need right now. Sometimes these programs get into a petty argument over system resources, and Epic Games ends up losing the fight. Now, try giving the launcher a bit of extra authority. Search for Epic Games Launcher in your Start menu, right-click it, and select Open File Location. When the folder pops up, right-click the shortcut again and go to Properties. Under the Compatibility tab, check the box that says Run this program as an administrator. This tells your computer to stop questioning the launcher's every move and just let it work. While you are in that same menu, go ahead and check the boxes for disabling full screen optimizations and running it in compatibility mode. It sounds technical, but it basically just simplifies how the app talks to your monitor. If it still won't behave, your Windows version might be the culprit. Head into your settings and hit Windows Update to see if you are behind on any patches. Microsoft and Epic constantly update things to work together, and if one is ahead of the other, crashes become the norm. If everything else fails, you might need to clear the launcher's memory. Hit the Windows key and R at the same time. Type in App Data and hit Enter. Navigate into the roaming folder and find the files associated with the launcher. Sometimes these files get corrupted during an update or a weird shutdown, and the launcher gets confused trying to read them. Deleting these forces the app to start fresh without you having to re-download all your massive games. You have the tools now to stop the crashing and actually get into your library. The first move is to stop the launcher from hanging around in the background. Even if you close the window, it is likely still running a zombie process that will prevent any fix from sticking. Open your task manager and hunt down every instance of Epic Games. Right-click and end those tasks until the list is clean. Once you have a blank slate, you need to go into the guts of the program files. Navigate through your local disk to Program Files 86, then into Epic Games, Launcher, Engine, and Binaries. Depending on your setup, you will see a folder for either Win32 or Win64. Go inside that folder and look past all those confusing DLL files until you find the actual executable file for the launcher. Instead of using your normal shortcut, right-click this file and run it as an administrator. This forces the launcher to re-verify its own files and can jumpstart the interface back into existence. If that doesn't clear the darkness, your graphics card is likely the culprit behind the communication breakdown. You need to know exactly what hardware is under the hood before you can fix it. Go to your search bar and pull up your system information. Look for the Components section to find your specific graphics card model. Now, head straight to the source. Do not rely on Windows Update for this. Go to the official AMD or NVIDIA website and search for the exact driver that matches your model and your version of Windows. Download the latest driver package and run the installer. This isn't just a simple update, it is a full refresh of how your PC handles visual data. Once the installation finishes, give your computer a full restart to let the changes settle. Why does this happen in the first place? Usually, the launcher gets stuck because it cannot figure out how to use your hardware to draw the user interface. It is trying to use a set of instructions that your graphics driver no longer understands, or a cached file in the binaries folder has become corrupted. By manually launching the executable or updating the driver, you are essentially giving the software a new map to follow. You might think you need to uninstall everything and start over, but that is a massive waste of time that usually doesn't fix the underlying driver conflict anyway. Now you have the tools to bypass the broken shortcuts and refresh the bridge between your GPU and your games. Open that launcher again and watch the colors come back. Most people assume their internet is down or the entire Epic server network has collapsed, but the reality is usually much smaller and more annoying than that. You are looking at a software glitch that loves to loop itself into infinity, and if you don't step in to break the cycle, you could be waiting until next year. First, you need to make sure the launcher isn't secretly running in the background while you try to fix it. Head down to the arrow in the bottom right of your taskbar. Find that Epic logo, right-click it, and hit Exit. If it refuses to budge, search for your task manager. Find Epic Games Launcher in that list. Right-click it and force it to end the task. This ensures you are working on a clean slate rather than fighting a zombie process that won't die. Now, you are going to clear out the temporary junk that's likely gumming up the gears. Open your Windows search bar and type in %localappdata%. This shortcut takes you straight into the hidden folders where apps store their temporary memories. Scroll down until you see the Epic Games Launcher folder and go inside. Look for a folder named Saved. Inside there, you are going to see a folder called webcache or webc. Go ahead and delete that entire thing. Don't worry, you aren't deleting your games, you're just clearing the launcher's brain so it stops trying to load a corrupted version of the interface. If that doesn't get things moving, you might need to change how your computer treats the launcher's permissions. Find the shortcut you use to open Epic Games, right-click it, and select Properties. Head over to the Compatibility tab. You want to make sure the box for running this program as an administrator is checked. Apply those changes and hit OK. From now on, when you open the launcher, it has the authority to bypass certain Windows restrictions that might have been holding it back. Why does this even happen in the first place? Usually, it's because the launcher tried to update itself and tripped over a tiny fragment of data that didn't download correctly. Instead of realizing there's a mistake, the software keeps trying to read that broken file over and over again, which creates that infinite loading loop you've been staring at. By deleting those cache folders, you force the launcher to rebuild those files from scratch, which almost always clears the blockage. You might think you need to reinstall the entire launcher, or worse, re-download all your games, but that's a massive waste of time that rarely fixes the underlying cache issue anyway. This manual cleanup is the surgical approach that actually works. You've just taken back control of your setup, and now you can finally get back to the game without the software standing in your way.